When I started sewing a few months ago, I had a vision. I'd buy some cute fabric, follow a simple pattern, and boom, all of a sudden I'd have a wardrobe that I absolutely love. As you could imagine, my journey of learning to sew from scratch has not been quite as simple and straightforward as what I thought it would be. However, after a few months of sewing and a lot of trial and error, I've kind of realized that the things that make me feel like a bad sewist are actually just a natural part of the learning journey that no one ever really talks about. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 13 things that I wish someone had told me before I started learning how to sew. Starting off strong with the thing that I have struggled with the most since I started learning how to sew, and that is thinking that sewing is a quick process. I think personally, before I started sewing, I was watching sewing creators on YouTube, and these creators have 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of sewing experience, so they whip a whole garment together in a day. And I had this expectation before I started sewing that I was also going to be able to do that. But before you start learning how to sew, there are so many invisible things that go into creating a garment, like finding your inspiration, finding the pattern, finding the fabric, cutting the pattern pieces out, which I know is everyone's favorite process, doing the zigzag stitching, troubleshooting. There's so many things that you don't know until you know. So I definitely feel like this has been a huge hindrance to my journey because I tend to set these arbitrary time limits on how long I think a garment should take to make, even if I've never made it before. And then I beat myself up and get down on myself when the garment takes 5 times longer than what I originally predicted it would take. It makes me feel like, oh, I'm a bad sewist or there's something wrong with me. So I think as a beginner sewist, the sooner you can realize that sewing is not a quick process, especially as a beginner, the sooner you will begin to actually really enjoy each and every step of the process. Point number 2 actually ties in very nicely with what I just said about thinking that sewing is a quick process. When I first started sewing, I thought that the aim of the game was to get the fabric through the machine as quickly as possible. I genuinely thought that this was a race. Something that I've learned is control needs to come first, and the only way that you can learn control is by going slowly. So going slowly in the beginning is very important, and once you do have that control, once you know what it feels like, what it looks like, then you can pick up speed. I've definitely gotten a bit quicker now, but I'm definitely more focused. I'm still very much a beginner sewist on control and doing things well and doing things properly, and I know later on a natural result of that will be speed. Point number 3 actually has a lot to do with not feeling competent, not feeling like a good enough sewist, and this is using the seam ripper. Sally the seam ripper has become my absolute best friend, and the funny thing is when I first received my sewing machine a few months ago, I whipped out the extras that came with the sewing machine and I pulled out my seam ripper and I was like, what is this? I literally didn't even know that seam ripping was a thing. Well, fast forward a few months and I now am very well acquainted to Sally my seam ripper. I use my seam ripper on every single project. I don't think that there is one single garment that I've made that I haven't had to use my seam ripper. But I used to think every time I had to use my seam ripper, it meant that I was a bad sewist, that there was something wrong with me. But something that I have realized is that even the very experienced sewists use their seam rippers all the time. It is just a natural part of the sewing process. Just because you're having to seam rip something doesn't mean that you're inherently bad. It's just a part of the process. It's just something that no one really talks about, but we all have to do. Even though I've made more than probably a dozen garments, I haven't really followed many patterns. Most of it has been self-drafted, which is a topic for another day. But when it comes to choosing patterns, I am a visual learner. If a pattern does not come with a video follow along, that's a red flag for me. It might not be the case for everyone. I know some people are good at reading instructions. I have learned that I am not good at reading instructions. But something that I realized the other day is I was following a pattern. I'm not going to name the pattern maker or the pattern, but I was following a pattern, my very first pattern actually, that was read only. It did not come with any video instructions. And I realized that when they made this pattern, they just assumed that you as a sewist would know what to do. The instructions were not very detailed at all. For example, the specific garment that I was making was a double-lined blouse that needed an invisible zipper. But now the instructions on this pattern said something along the lines of insert the zipper. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? I could tell the person that wrote the pattern, and there's nothing wrong with this, wrote the pattern from the perspective of someone who is a very experienced sewist. So there were a lot of little details missing out that as a beginner sewist, you won't know. So if you want to save yourself the headache of trying to figure things out with no clear instructions, I would highly recommend vetting your patterns first, but if you are a visual person, it will be extremely helpful to make sure that the first few patterns that you pick out come with visual follow-alongs. I don't know if I explained that very well. Something that I did not actually think about or realize when I first started making my first few patterns is that most commercial patterns will need additional adjustments so that it fits perfectly to your body. Especially with the more fitted garments, you are going to need to have that expectation that this garment, if I choose it in a medium, and I'm usually a medium, I'm probably going to have to make a few adjustments so that it fits my body perfectly. I think something that I just happened to do right with my first few garments that I made is I didn't pick out very form-fitting garments. I chose things that had a lot of room, a lot of flow, shirring, stretching, so I never really ran into many problems with needing to make adjustments when I was first starting to learn how to sew. But as soon as you get to the pieces that are supposed to be form-fitting, just have that expectation that you are going to probably need to make adjustments for the garment to fit you perfectly. So as a beginner sewist, I would highly recommend choosing patterns that are a little bit less form-fitting, a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more flowy. Think like maxi dresses, maxi skirts, things that have got stretch, using stretchy fabrics. Choosing to make things that are like corsets and very tight things is going to need a lot more experience. So yeah, just be mindful of the types of patterns that you're choosing in the very beginning. This next tip is actually contrary to most beginner sewing advice that you will hear. A lot of the time as a beginner sewist, you'll hear people saying things like, oh, make a tote bag, make a pillowcase, make a scrunchie as your very first projects. But I completely avoided this. I just dove headfirst into trying projects that were way out of my league. And that is why I've been able to learn so much over such a short period of time. I would highly recommend just going for it. Don't spend a fortune on the most expensive fabrics. Start with fabrics that you can afford and you're not scared to cut up and mess up, and just go for it. Make things that seem way out of your comfort zone, because you're not going to get to the point of being an experienced sewist by making endless tote bags and pillowcases and things that you don't even want. So that's the best tip I can give you if you really want to start making garments that you are proud of and that you actually wear, is you've got to develop your skills quickly by putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. This is actually another controversial tip that you won't hear often as a beginner sewist, and that is throwing yourself in the deep end and learning how to self-draft early on. I think actually, yes, the first 3 or 4 garments, 5, most of the garments that I've made have been self-drafted. It is not easy to learn how to self-draft and sew at the same time. Those are 2 very different skills, which you will only realize once you start doing it. But something that I didn't actually realize when I first decided I'm going to learn how to self-draft as much as I can before I start paying for patterns is the process of learning how to create your own patterns actually teaches you so much about garment construction. So this is definitely one of the ways to learn how to make beautiful pieces that you love really quickly. There are 2 ladies on YouTube, and if you've watched any of my sew alongs before, you've heard me mention them before. There is Thoifam, I'm probably butchering that name, and Jess Dang. I will obviously have them linked below. Those 2 channels have been absolutely amazing. They show you how to make your own patterns from your own measurements, and then they show you how to make the garments afterwards. If you want to be making gorgeous garments within a few months of starting your sewing journey, you need to learn how to self-draft your own patterns, and you don't need to be paying thousands of dollars to follow courses and things like that. Yes, that comes later on. I've actually got a few courses that I'd love to do eventually, but there are so many free resources on YouTube, specifically those 2 channels that I mentioned. Just do it. It's not easy. It really is not. And it takes so much time, but it is so worth it. Now that we've covered more of the mindset and the expectations going into your beginner sewers journey, I'm going to be leaving you with a few practical tips to take into your very next project. Starting off with what I believe is the most important thing, and that is fabric choice. I think when I first started, I severely underestimated how important it is to choose the right fabric for the project that you are working on. These 2 blouses were created with the same self-drafted pattern with a few tweaks here and there. But as you can see, these blouses sit completely differently on my body. The blue is a lot more drapey drapey, a lot more softer, a lot more flowy. In my opinion, it sits a lot better on my body. It feels a lot nicer. It's just a more suitable fabric for this particular blouse. The red still works, but the fabric itself is a lot sturdier and a lot thicker. It works, but it just produces a completely different result, even though I'm following the exact same garment construction. So that's just to put into perspective how fabric can make or break your project. This next one might seem very obvious, but if you are a beginner sewist, you might not actually think about it. And I just cannot emphasize enough how important it is to test your stitches on a piece of scrap fabric before you hop onto the main garment. I think it's very easy to assume that all fabric works the same with whatever standard settings you currently have on your sewing machine, but that is not the case, speaking from experience. So just always make sure that you test your stitches on a piece of scrap fabric to avoid wasting a whole lot of time and a whole lot of fabric in the long run. Something I did not realize is that there are different types of needles for different types of fabric. For example, the very first time that I tried to make a bathing suit, there was nowhere in the pattern that mentioned that you need ballpoint needles to sew with knit fabric. This is something that I did not know at all. I mean, how would I? It was a complete disaster. My fabric just kept getting jammed in the machine over and over and over again, and I was getting so frustrated until eventually I went and did my own research and realized, oh wait, I need ballpoint needles for knit fabric. So it's very important to know what type of needle you need for the type of fabric that you're working with, just to save you a lot of disappointment in the long run. If you want your garments looking professional, there is no way around this. You have to press your seams. The difference between pressing your seams and not pressing your seams is a garment that is professional, clean, amazing, gorgeous, and something that looks very homemade. Now, speaking as someone who has a very strong inner critic, this is a lesson that is still very difficult for me to remember all the time, but your sewing journey will be so much more enjoyable if you just grasp this concept early on. And that is, it's okay to make mistakes. When you are learning something new, especially something like sewing that requires a lot of skill, a lot of practice, you can't expect to make these perfect, gorgeous, beautiful, professional quality garments right from the get-go. I mean, I guess there are the outliers who are just naturally talented and are making incredible pieces from day one. But for the majority of us, that's just not going to be the case. And as soon as you learn to accept that it is totally okay, totally normal to make mistakes, the sooner you will actually really enjoy the process of learning how to sew. And last but not least, it is okay to quit projects that you absolutely hate. I've actually been very fortunate on my journey so far. I would say about 95% of the garments I've made have turned out somewhat okay. I've enjoyed most of them. I actually wear quite a lot of them. But there was this one. It was that freaking vest. Firstly, I chose the most horrendous fabric. I actually found it in the upholstery section. So yeah, that was a rookie mistake, which I will never make again. Secondly, I'm not a vest person, so I don't know what motivated me to think that I wanted to make a vest. But basically the project from the get-go, from the moment I started making it, I just was not having fun. I was not enjoying it. I was not making a piece that I was actually excited about. I hated working with the fabric, the whole quilting process, just everything about it. I was just hating it. And every single time I put the vest on to try it, I was like, I'm not going to wear this. Firstly, it just looks so ugly. Secondly, I'm not working towards a piece that I actually am going to wear or that I actually like. So what I eventually did after days of fighting myself, I just eventually abandoned the project and I felt so much better for it. So I just want to give you that encouragement. If you are working on a project that you're not enjoying, you're not looking forward to the end result, just give up and move on to something else. It is not the end of the world. No one is going to fine you for it. It is okay. And that wraps up the 13 things that I wish someone had told me as a very beginner sewist. If you've got any other thoughts that you'd like to share, help each other out, leave a comment below. Tell us what you have struggled with the most on your sewing journey. If you made it all the way to this point in the video, you can leave a secret emoji to let me know. Let's do a pink heart. If you leave a pink heart, I'll know you made it all the way to this point. If you don't already know, I actually made a very helpful Notion template with all of the most beautiful patterns that I plan to be making over summer. I have made some of them already. So if you want free access to that, all you need to do is subscribe to my email newsletter, which is called the Sew Sisters. And that being said, I really hope that you guys got something useful from today's video, and we will see you in the next one. Hasta luego!